we got Caitlin Clark here. She was at the Pacers game last night.
Nice.
I'm sorry, this was on Wednesday night. And as you can see there, she was doing the Reggie Miller choke.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This was also been brought back by Tyrese Halliburton this postseason. He did this against the Knicks. Reggie Miller did it against the Knicks. Now she's doing it to taunt the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Game 4 is tonight, everybody. The Indiana Pacers are up 2-1 in this series against all odds. Oklahoma City was definitely heavily favored to win this one.
Were they number 1 seed?
Well, they were the number 1 seed in the West, but the Pacers were the number 3 or 4 seed, fourth seed in the East. So, yeah, the Pacers have been continuing to defy the odds throughout all of the playoffs, and here they are with a 2-1 lead heading into Game 4. And Lady Luck herself in the building, Caitlin Clark, showing she's a fan. Of course, she plays for the Indiana equivalent in the WNBA, the Indiana Fever. And if you've been following the league at all, you'll know that she's been injured for the past couple weeks. And as a result, look at this tweet I saw this week here from Hoops at HoopMixOnly on X. This is crazy. And it says, WNBA ratings are down over 50% since Caitlin Clark's injury. Wow. That's how much weight she carries right now.
So do you think people tune in because of the controversy, or they tune in because the game is so good with her?
I think both. They want to watch her play. I don't know. But as you can see, right away, chaos connoisseur over here at Huey the Radical, and he has the Australian flag there in his profile name.
Okay.
He immediately asks Grok, which is the X artificial intelligence that's built into the X platform. You can just ask Grok a question. Is this accurate? And Grok responded, the claim that WNBA ratings dropped over 50% since Caitlin Clark's injury seems accurate. Oh, Nielsen data shows a 55% decline in 847,000 viewers. Even on NBA TV, viewership fell from 581,000 to 344,000 without her. Network differences might play a role, but the drop is consistent across platforms. Clark's absence clearly impacts viewership, though the league's overall growth suggests some resilience. Rick Hunter at CDR_Rick_Hunter. Thank you at Grok. Non-biased facts. Well done. And he gives him the Leonardo DiCaprio meme from The Great Gatsby. Of course, the cheers. So here you have it. What a interesting kind of development this is. And I can attest, Nika, we started watching it, and as soon as she got hurt, we stopped. It hasn't been a priority. You know, I was so looking forward to that game with the I don't even remember, it was the President's Cup or something. It was a tournament that was happening, and the Fever were supposed to play the Sky again in this rematch that started all the hoopla, no pun intended. It started all this controversy and kind of, I think, became like an immediate draw attraction here, like rivalry thing. And of course, I'm talking about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese going at it in the flagrant foul and everything. And now Caitlin's disappeared because of this injury, and so has the watchers.
That's sad. It takes one player.
I mean, is it though? I mean,
well,
I don't know if it's positive or negative. I think what it means is that the WNBA hasn't peaked yet. You know, the NBA was around for years and years and years. It was a niche sport. It had a 1940s, it had a 1950s, it had a 1960s and 70s, and it had some stars along the way that came in, like Julius Erving and Wilt Chamberlain, and they did amazing things on the basketball court, sure. But there was a player that came along in the 80s that changed it, and that was Michael Jordan. And that was when all of a sudden it went to be must-see TV.
It went viral.
It went viral. Before virality was like
that was the
term.
OG of virals.
It was the OG of virals. And, you know, of course it came with the shoes, and everybody wanted to have the shoes. Everybody wanted to fly like Mike.
Of course.
And I think this is somewhat similar. I don't think it's impossible to imagine a world in the second year of the Michael Jordan NBA where he did get hurt. I don't remember if it was in the second year or the third year, but I think it was in his second year. You know, I'd be very curious to put those ratings up against these ratings, see what that looks like. But really interesting stuff here. And I really hope Caitlin Clark is healed up soon so that these ratings can get back in the right direction because I want to see the WNBA succeed with her as the face of it. She provides people joy, and they watch her to see if she can win, you know, and I don't think there's anything personal against anybody else in the league because of it. And again, I don't think anybody would have batted an eyelash if viewership went down when Michael Jordan got hurt early on in his career, because the year before he was so amazing and did such amazing things on the court. Like, oh, well, if I don't get to watch that on a nightly basis, I don't really want to watch. So mark my words, as soon as she comes back, these ratings are going to go right back up. I promise. And in fact, the lead up into it is going to be a story of, oh, she's coming back. She's coming back. She's going to get activated. We'll be here talking about it. I promise you that.